Hello, everybody. In today's world, a world of wars and political turmoil, it is very important to be human. Sometimes it is not that difficult to do something good, but unfortunately, many people forget about it. Yet, even the smallest good deed will bring more love and happiness than all the world's wealth. Our video today is devoted to these very stories which are usually left behind the scenes. So, these are the 15 kind deeds that make you believe in humanity. Let's go! 17-time diving world champion Shavars Karapetyan exchanged his successful career for 20 human lives. One morning, he was jogging as usual with his brother in Yerevan when he saw that a trolley bus full of people had lost control and headed right into the lake. Without thinking, Karapetyan jumped into the lake, smashed out the rear window with his foot, and began to take the passengers one by one from the trolley bus, which was already 10 meters deep in cold water. He managed to save 20 of the 92 passengers. Because of his actions, Karapetyan got sepsis and serious pneumonia, and he could not continue his sports career. The railway station Kamishirataki in Japan works only for one passenger. 3 years ago, Japanese railways decided to stop servicing this unpopular and remote route. But when they found out that there was a schoolgirl living at the station, they decided to partially reinstate service there. Trains stop there only twice a day at different times depending on the girl's schedule. In March 2016, the girl will graduate from school and service on this line will be terminated completely. Chen Jingyin, a 48-year-old farmer from Tangjing village in China, lost both his arms as the result of an accident when he was just 8. But it does not prevent him from performing other functions, such as planting crops, cooking, and cattle management. In spite of all this, the farmer takes care of his 91-year-old mother and even feeds her with a spoon by holding it in his mouth. Wild animals sometimes behave better than people when one of their own is in trouble. A pride took care after one of its members was in a metal neck chain for 3 years. This wounded lion was noticed by tourists in 2009. Its neck was stiffened with a choker made of metal bars in which the young lion was caught when small after getting into a poacher's trap. Hunters put traps for animals such as antelope. The small baby lion most likely put its head into it and managed to get out with the wire loop still on its neck. In time, this young king of the beasts had become a real prisoner of its chains. Every year, the wire stuck deeper and deeper into its neck, dooming it to a lingering and painful death from suffocation. Employees from the reservation wanted to help the lion, but the territory was too big and it took them a long time to find the lion. According to the employees, all of them were impressed by the behavior of the wild animals. The brothers and sisters of the wounded lion helped it by bringing it food from hunting. They did not kill it as is usually done with weak males, but saved it from dying the whole time. When people found the lion, the whole pride began to protect their relative, so that veterinarians had to chase them away in jeeps. As a result, they managed to remove the wire off its neck. One more week would have cost the lion its life. Now it is fine and defends its pride even more than ever. Vacationers on one of the Pacific beaches saw a pod of dolphins beaching themselves. Without waiting for various rescue services, they rushed into the water and began to drag the animals back into the ocean. After several minutes, thanks to cooperated actions of caring people, all the dolphins were saved. When you get into trouble and there is no one to help you, you might be saved by those from whom you least expect it. Todd Andrews decided to surf with his friends. When he did not expect it, he was attacked by a shark who ripped his back. At the moment when his strength had almost seeped away and he had lost a lot of blood, a pod of dolphins appeared and surrounded him, chasing the shark away. It helped Todd to ride a wave and get to shore. Not everyone would dare to save a 180-kilogram drowning bear, but there are people who can do it. Adam Warwick works as a usual biologist in the Wildlife Society. One day, a huge bear got into the yard of a private house. So they could take the bear back to the forest, people shot at it with a dart containing a sleeping aid. But the bear panicked and rushed into the ocean. Adam swam close to the bear when it had almost fallen asleep and begun drowning. It took a lot of effort for Adam and his colleagues to take this big animal from the water and bring it back to the reservation. A British postgraduate student, Dominica Harrison Betson, lost her bank card in Pearston and understood that only in the evening when she had to return home by taxi. Having understood all the gravity of the situation, she did not know what to do till a homeless person gave his last £3. Later on, the moved girl thanked him. She returned to Pearston and found him a place to live. A cat named Oscar lost both his back paws because of a harvesting machine and would have died if it were not for Noel Fitzpatrick. This genius veterinarian performed the first operations in the world on the implantation of bionic prosthesis. The implants are constructed so that they fuse with the cat's bones and skin and are provided with exoprosthesis, thanks to which its walking looks natural. Already a day after the operation, the cat could stand on its new paws and in 4 months could walk and run. Anja Ringgren Loven. Nearly a year ago, a Danish woman, Anja Ringgren Loven, found an underfed 2-year-old boy who she called Hope in the streets of Nigeria. His own parents had kicked him out of home because they thought that he was a voodoo. At that time, he was just about 1 year old and survived only thanks to people's charity. Anja took him to her orphanage, which she manages together with her husband, David Emmanuel Umim. 35 saved children from 1 to 14 years old live there. When Anja published a photo with Hope on Facebook, people from all over the world began transferring money to her. All in all, she managed to collect $1 million. Anja and her husband plan to organize a big orphanage and children's clinics. Now Hope is not at all like a skeleton with thin legs. He is a funny boy who, according to his adoptive mom, enjoys his life in full. Valia Orphanidou. In April of the previous year in Greece, this woman noticed a stray dog whose face had completely hardened into stone. She took a picture of the poor thing and posted it on Facebook with the hope that someone would help. The seriously ill 5-year-old mongrel felt very badly and could not even think that its life would change forever. Petra, as the dog was called, had never dealt with people before and was rather afraid of them. People could not approach it because it ran away when they got closer. It was not easy to save it, but no one gave up. When they finally managed to catch the dog, they delivered it to the animal shelter in Aroba City. It's hard to recognize Petra now. It's not a thin, stray dog suffering from numerous diseases and afraid of people. It has become a really beautiful dog and is ready to join a loving family and find a new home. Grandpa Dobry. A 98-year-old beggar, Grandpa Dobry, from the Bulgarian village of Bailovo, dressed in rags, often stands near the Cathedral of Alexander Nevsky in Sofia. Every day he gets up very early and walks 10 kilometers from his house to the capital of Bulgaria. In 2010, when shooting a documentary film about the cathedral, a journalist from Bulgarian television made a shocking discovery in the archives of the church. He found that the most generous private donation ever made to the cathedral is €40,000, presented by the old beggar Grandpa Dobry. The 98-year-old saint does not use a kopeck given to him by people. He survives on his pension of €100 a month and donations of fruits and bread. Grandpa Dobry helps many other people. For example, he paid the utility bills of an orphanage about to have their heat and electricity cut off. He also helps homeless people. But no one knew about all his good deeds because Dobry has never told anyone about them. Don Ritchie lived near a rock in Sydney for 50 years and was a real guardian angel of a rock called the Gap. In this very place, people tortured by their lives usually try to commit suicide. When Don saw desperate people on the edge of the rock, he approached them with his hands up, smiled, and asked, "What can I do to help you?" In most cases, he managed to dissuade hopeless people from this terrible act. According to the official data alone, he saved 163 people from suicide. Don Ritchie, whose smile saved many lives, died at the age of 86, and his family keeps saving people. A 9-year-old, Rachel Beckwith, saved more than 60,000 people. When she saw a video on the shortage of drinking water in Africa, she persuaded her parents and friends not to give her birthday presents and transfer the money intended for her presents to her charity page, Water. Her goal was to collect $300, which, according to the fund estimates, could save the lives of 15 people. 1.5 months after opening the charity page, Rachel Beckwith died in a car accident. Her deed and tragic death became widely known among Americans, and in October 2011, when the charity collection was over, it turned out that 31,997 people from all over the world had donated $1,265,823. The $300 that Rachel had wanted to collect could have saved 15 people, but the resulting amount saved about 60,000. All these people are not shown on TV. You won't find their names in credits and picturesque boards, but it is they who are real heroes. It is thanks to these people and their deeds that we still believe in humanity. Be kinder, friends, and help your neighbors. If you liked the video, click like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends.